हेलो गाइस, गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीबॉडी, वेलकम टू आवर यूट्यूब चैनल। राइट, एक बार कंफर्मेशन दे दो मैं ऑडिबल और विजिबल हूं। राइट, थैंक यू सो मच। चलिए, सो वी गोना स्टार्ट द सेशन फॉर टुडे। राइट नाउ, दिस इज अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग न्यूज एंड अ वेरी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव न्यूज दैट हैज बेसिकली कम, दैट इज all in one policy plan to spread insurance in India. Now basically if we talk about a regulator that is related to insurance, that is IRDA. IRDA हमारा रेगुलेटर है अगर हम बात किसकी कर रहे हैं, इंश्योरेंस की बात कर रहे हैं। एंड नाउ ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड इट वेरी केयरफुली। दे आर डिवाइजिंग एन अफोर्डेबल प्रोडक्ट covering health, life, property, accident risk to give citizens protection, expedite claim settlements by linking death registries onto one industry platform. Now they are coming up, or let's say they would be coming up in the future with a basically plan where they would be covering each and everything that could be there related to insurance. Not only that, they are trying to make sure that they want to expedite the claims as well. And now I will tell you how they are going to do it. First, try to see what are the various points that could be there under this new insurance plan. First of all, they would be let's say coming out with an insurance product by the name of Bima Vistar to provide life, health, accident and property cover through a single simple policy. अब आपको सारी चीजें एक ही पॉलिसी के थ्रू मिल जाएंगी, आपको डिफरेंट पॉलिसीज लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. So this is going to be the big change that we could be seeing in the next coming months. That is a single product by the name of Bima Vistar. The second important thing is permitting insurers to sell value added services. Let's say you have taken up certain health scheme, right? Now along with that you might be getting certain yoga classes, for example a yoga class bundled with the health scheme. So this is a very interesting feature, right, with this new particular policy. A Bima Sogam platform as one stop shop for customers integrating insurer and distributor. एक प्लेटफॉर्म बनाया जाएगा जिसका नाम होगा बीमा सौगम, और वो एक प्लेटफॉर्म होगा जहां पे आप सारी चीजें खरीद सकते हो. वुमेन टू लेड कैंपेन टू स्पर इंश्योरेंस पेनिट्रेशन इन ईच ग्राम सभा. Now they will try to make sure that they are trying to spread their product and reach to the people of the gram panchayat with the help of women, because they would be the ones that would be leading these campaigns. So this is also a very interesting thing. Linking digital death registries to platforms so that claims can be settled within hours or a day. तो हम इसको क्या कर रहे हैं, लिंक कर रहे हैं जो भी डेथ रजिस्ट्रीज को प्लेटफॉर्म के साथ, ताकि जो भी आपके इंश्योरेंस क्लेम्स है वो जल्दी से जल्दी सेटल हो सके. एंड फाइनली, roping in the states to form insurance committees and expand coverage across districts. So they would be roping in the states so that they could have expansion of this particular product across the districts. So this is going to be, if it is implemented with all the provisions that they are trying to say over here, would be a wonderful thing, because it's going to now open a new chapter in the history of, if we could say, insurance policies in India. तो ये बहुत ही डिफरेंट बन जाएगा अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं ऐसी कोई स्कीम इंप्लीमेंट होती है. राइट, सो दिस वाज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्ट दैट वी हैड टुवर्ड्स आवर न्यूज़पेपर. And one of the important thing that you have to understand is the name of the product that they're going to be launching, and the name of the product is the Bima Vistar. Name of the product क्या होगा, Bima Vistar. Now coming to the second important news that we have, I think everyone could see over here. China constructing model villages opposite the line of actual control. Now I think everyone is aware of this particular part, that Amit Shah, our honorable home minister, has launched the Vibrant Village program. I'm going to write the name of the program as well. Vibrant Village program. Now this was a program that was launched by whom? Our honorable home minister, that is the Amit Shah. उन्होंने ये प्रोग्राम लॉन्च किया. उनका लॉन्च करने का मेन मकसद क्या था? उनका मकसद था टू मेक श्योर दैट दे आर ऑल्सो डेवलपिंग विलेजेस along the Indo-China border, so that these could become economic prosperous and would be able to provide for the security along the borders. These are the two important points that you have to remember. Ultimately, Vibrant Village program, the government wanted, or the Home Ministry had a specific vision that they wanted people to act like buffer over here and provide us the security information. Plus, they would also want under the Vibrant Village program that this region to become economically prosperous. Now, if we have to understand this particular development, it is coming against the development of China that they are trying to do in the area of Tibet, that they are also trying to basically, they have already started building model villages mainly in this particular region. Let's say this is our boundary with China. This is the region of Arunachal Pradesh. In this western and this eastern region, they are basically doing what? They are basically also constructing model villages opposite the line of actual control. So, this is a worrisome factor that is there in front of India, right? So, as a result, India has to make sure that India also up its game and make sure it also is able to create a deterrent in the wake of the Chinese aggression. I hope you are able to understand. These are the two important news that we have in our today's newspaper, right? चलिए, यहां पे ऐसा कुछ नहीं है जो कि इंपॉर्टेंट हो, जो हमें अभी डिस्कस करना हो, राइट? ओके, नाउ if we talk about these particular editorials, I think everyone is aware of these particular news. This is again seriously related to the same ordinance that has been passed in context of what? The ordinance that has been passed in context of the National Capital Civil Service Authority. I'm going to talk you a little bit about the ordinance power of the president. Let's try to consider for just 2 to 3 minutes and have an insight, जिनका रिवीजन भी हो जाएगा और सबको पता भी चल जाएगा what is an ordinance power of the president. So let's try to see. Now, when we talk about ordinance that has been issued by the center, you must understand one or two things. That is, this ordinance making power of the president is given under Article 123 of the Constitution. There the specific terminology is being used by the name of promulgation of ordinance. Specific terminology is being used by the name of promulgation of ordinance. Now, this is a power, this is a legislative power which has been given to what? This has been given to the executive in the wake of special circumstances where there is a strict need to pass such an ordinance when the parliament is not in session. When parliament is not in session, a need has arisen that there shall be an enactment of a certain law. So, at that time, president can enact an ordinance. Very important. President can do what? They can enact an ordinance under Article 123 of the Constitution. Here, president is basically acting as a legislative body. Now, try to understand. President cannot make laws on any subject. They can make laws on only those subjects that are being mentioned where? That are giving them the power under the parliament. The parliament has the power to legislate on the, let's say, center list, right? State list में state का होता है, concurrent में दोनों का होता है. So, these are the areas on which the president can legislate or make an ordinance that is on the subjects of the center or in the concurrent list. And the effect of ordinance is the same as it has the act of parliament. So, these are the 2 points that you have to remember. Make laws on only those subjects where parliament has the power, and second, it would have a same effect as an act of parliament. As an act of parliament. So, these are the 2 most important points that you have to understand. Now, after the ordinance has been passed and let's say the parliament then reassembles, it would cease to exist for the time period of just only 6 weeks. After the period of 6 weeks, if it has not been brought before the houses of the parliament, then this ordinance would cease to exist. This is the most important thing that you have to understand, that the time period has been given when the, let's say, parliament assembles after the recess. The time period is maximum 6 weeks, or it could be taken before 6 weeks as well. If the president himself or herself, let's say, withdraws the ordinance or it is rejected by the both houses of the parliament before this time period of 6 weeks. So 6 periods maximum time है जहां तक वो स्टे कर सकता है. उसके बाद अप्रूव हो जाए पार्लियामेंट से वो अलग चीज है. अगर वो अप्रूव नहीं होगा तो उसको क्या किया जाएगा? उसको बेसिकली क्या करा जा सकता है? या तो उसे रिजेक्ट किया जा सकता है या प्रेसिडेंट खुद ही विड्रॉ कर सकता है ऑर्डिनेंस को. सो दिस इज द पावर दैट हैज बीन यूज्ड बाय द होम, बाय द सेंटर इन रिलेशन टू व्हाट? In relation to National Capital Civil Services Authority. This is the most important thing that we have to understand, that has basically come and given the powers to whom? It has given the powers to the CM of Delhi, Chief Secretary and the Principal Home Secretary, and the decision would be majority related to transfer and appointment of civil servants, but the final decision would be of the Lieutenant Governor. That is exactly the opposite stand which the Supreme Court had taken, where it had given the power of transfer and appointment of civil servants to whom? To the Chief Minister of Delhi, who is the person that has been elected by the government of, or let's say by the people of, by the mandate of Delhi people. So this is the whole debate that has now come up, and everyone is trying to, let's say, clarify the provisions what are there in the constitution and what are there not in the constitution. So this is the article related to that particular thing as well, right? So ये एक important चीज है जो हमें पता होनी चाहिए. The inauguration of a parliament building should have marked a fresh start. I think everyone is aware of the controversy that has now surrounded the inauguration of the new parliament building. The new parliament building is going to be inaugurated on which date? May 28. But the problem is that the opposition parties are of the view that it shall be the president who must have inaugurated the building, not the prime minister, whom the Lok Sabha speaker has asked to inaugurate the building. This is the first controversy that has basically struck the new inauguration of the parliament building. Now, the second most important thing that you have to understand, that our Honorable Home Minister had mentioned about a particular scepter by the name of Sangol, and it has been in news for the past 2 to 3 days. Now, this Sangol is basically a scepter that was used in the Chola Empire. It was a part of their culture, it was a part of their tradition. When the power had to be transferred from one king to another, it was basically the passing of this particular scepter. And this particular tradition was maintained by the British upon the instance of the Indians, when they said that the Lord Mountbatten had to transfer this scepter to whom? To the Indian Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru on 15th August 1947. And the same thing would be done on the May 28, when this particular scepter would be installed next to the Lok Sabha speaker seat, right? So maintaining the tradition and culture of the Chola kingdom, that was in itself a huge grandeur and a vision for the each and the every, let's say, kingdom that was at that particular moment of time around the Indian subcontinent. So I hope you are able to understand this, and you are able to understand what are the things that have been given in these two first editorials, right? Now this is not that important. अगर हम बात करें, ये बखमुत रीजन की बात हो रही है, जो रशिया और यूक्रेन में जो बोन ऑफ कंटेंशन बना हुआ है, where it has been, let's say, alleged that the Russia's mercenary group Wagner group has basically let's say been control of that particular area, right? तो वो बखमुत एक रीजन है जो आपको पता होना चाहिए कहां पे है, यूक्रेन के अंदर है. Now this is not that much important and we can skip this particular part, right? Now should the states revert to the old pension scheme? I think everyone is aware of this old pension scheme, that it, yes, provides a sense of security, social security, that when you get a government job, you will get a sense of social security. But somehow you have to understand that it is in itself placing a burden on the revenues of the state government, because they are the ones that has to provide the huge amount of money in the form of, let's say, this particular pensions, for which they are not getting any service as well, right? So this is a part of, let's say, you can say a part of transfer payments, put a lot of burden on the state exchequer, and we have to see what has to be done in this particular context, right? So ये एक important news इतनी नहीं है, पर पता होनी चाहिए. Now एक particular word है यहाँ पे जो नया आया है, बड़ा important है. Why do judges recuse themselves? Very important. Why do judges recuse themselves, right? Now try to understand. Whenever there is a potential conflict of interest, a judge can withdraw from a case. Let's say I am a judge that is adjudicating a particular case, and if I somehow feel that I might be the person that might be having an interest in this particular case, I can withdraw from that particular case. So whenever there is a potential conflict of interest, a judge can withdraw from a case to prevent the perception that the judge was biased while deciding a case. There are two kinds of recusals, very important. An automatic recusal, where the judge himself withdraws from the case. एक तो ऑटोमेटिक रिक्यूजल होता है जहां पे जज ही कह देता है कि यहां पे हो सकता है कंफ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट हो, तो मैं अपने आप को क्या कर रहा हूं, विड्रॉ कर रहा हूं. और व्हेन अ पार्टी रेजेस अ प्ली for recusal, highlighting the possibility of bias or personal interest of the judge in the case, or somehow the parties can also put a plea that this judge might be having a conflict of interest, and it is better if this is the judge that is not adjudicating this particular case. So this is the instance of the recusal that you have to understand. The decision to recuse rests solely on the conscience and the discretion of the judge, and no party can compel a judge to withdraw from a case. Very important. अब ये डिसीजन किसका होगा कि वो विड्रॉ करेंगे? एक तो ऑटोमेटिक या वॉलेंट्री है, एक है कि मान लो किसी पार्टी ने प्ली कर दी, उसके बाद वो विड्रॉ कर रहे हैं, पर जो फाइनल डिसीजन जो है, इट सोली रेस्ट विद होम? It solely rests with the conscience and the discretion of the judge. This is a very important point to understand. Since there are no rules governing this process, it is often led to the judges themselves to record reasons for recusals. अगर वो recusal कर रहे हैं तो बता दो किस वजह से आप क्या कर रहे हो, recusal कर रहे हो, बट यहां पे कोई statutory law नहीं है जो इसको बैक कर रहा है. The Delhi High Court recently ruled that no litigant or third party has any right to intervene, comment or inquire regarding a judge's recusal from a case. Delhi High Court has explicitly said that judge ने क्यों बैकआउट किया उसके बारे में आपको कोई इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं मिलेगी, that is to the normal public. That they are trying to say that no litigant or third party has any right to intervene, comment or inquire regarding a judge's recusal from a particular case. I hope you are able to understand what is this method of recusal, and this is the basically वहां पे जहां पे conflict of interest हो सकता है वहां पे judges अपने आप को withdraw कर सकते हैं, and it is better as well, right? Because we don't want judges to be educating on that particular matter where they could have a particular personal bias. So as a result, they must be, let's say, voluntarily removing from that particular position where they are withdrawing to educate on that particular case, right? So this was an important editorial that you need to understand. ओके सो एक वेब सीरीज है दहाड़, ठीक है, ये एक बात तो कर रही है बट इसमें कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट मैसेज छुपा हुआ है दैट इज रिलेटेड टू अगर हम बात करें दलित फेमिनिस्ट की बात करें, राइट, हीरोज की बात करें. सो सोनाक्षी सिन्हा, इफ यू कैन सी ओवर हियर, शी इज अ particularly Dalit in this particular web series, and she is basically beating the odds against the society and trying to make sure that they are breaking the social stigma that is there in the Indian context, whether it is related to marriage and whether it is related to caste discrimination. These are the two things that have been highlighted in this particular web series. Now you can use this in your answers as well if you have to use it, right? Because this is a particular series that is sending a strong message related to the status and the condition of women in the society. If you haven't seen it, don't see it, right? But you need to know what are the things that are very, very important, right? टाइम वेस्ट मत करना इतना देखने में, ठीक है. अभी आप एग्जाम की तैयारी कर रहे हो, जब पेपर क्लियर हो जाए फिर आराम से देख लेना, ठीक है. तो ये इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है जो आपको समझनी है कि यहां पे दो चीजों की बात करी गई है. बेसिकली अगर हम बात करें कास्ट डिस्क्रिमिनेशन की और मैरिज के कंसेप्ट को लेके काफी सारी बातें यहां पे डिस्कस करी गई हैं, और ये एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं समझने के लिए इंडिया सोसाइटी में कैसे काम चलता है, राइट. एंड बेसिकली दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट हियर इन द रीजन ऑफ राजस्थान एज वेल. So this is a story that has been based in Rajasthan, right? चलिए, moving to the next part. यहाँ पे कुछ ऐसा important नहीं है that we need to discuss, right? Okay, so this is all related to now nothing important that we need to discuss. Now these are the very sad news that are basically coming if we talk about from Kuno National Park. Yesterday we discussed there was a death of one cub. Now two more cheetah cubs die at Kuno Park. One is unwell. Experts say it is due to the extreme heat or inadequate nourishment. One cub died on Tuesday. The remaining cub born to the translocated Namibian cheetah is underweight and under observer, right? So now if we look at the list of the deaths that have been dying the cheetahs, Sasha died on March 27 due to kidney ailment. Uday died on April 23 due to cardiopulmonary failure. Daksha died from an injury from a violent interaction. And the three cubs that have been born to Jwala has died. It might be due to weaknesses or extreme weather. Now these were the things that were of serious concern to us as well, right? Because might be there would be a possibility that this would not be able to adjust to the conditions, because the conditions in India are quite different. And if we see the region where they are basically put in this Kuno National Park, it is a region in the, let's say, the Madhya Pradesh, that is a very hot region in these months of May, June and July. So this is a particular worrisome factor that is coming, because we have spent a lot of money for this project to work up, and this project doesn't work up, it doesn't augur well for the Indian, let's say, as a country. As a result, in order to make sure that we are able to successfully implement this project, Cheetah project, a new committee is being appointed to keep a watch on the Cheetah project, and international and national experts are part of the panel formed in the wake of the Kuno cub deaths. अगर बच्चे ही अगर इस कंडीशन में पैदा नहीं हो पा रहे तो आगे उनकी पॉपुलेशन कैसे बढ़ेगी? तो यही मेजर फैक्टर था, पॉपुलेशन तो बच्चों से ही आगे बढ़नी है, अगर बच्चे ही प्रॉपरली वो मौसम को एडजस्ट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, सो इट विल बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट वेदर दिस प्रोजेक्ट वुड बी फिजिबल और नॉट. So as a result, international and national experts are part of the panel formed in the wake of the Kuno cub deaths, and it's a serious issue that needs to be understood and make sure that we are doing enough. Let's say अगर हमें इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करना है. ओके, आई होप यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस, राइट? ठीक है, ये बहुत सीरियस सिचुएशन है. अगर हम इस ग्रेविटी ऑफ सिचुएशन को चेक करें ना, तो ये भी एक टॉप मोस्ट इशू है आज के टाइम पे इंडिया के अंदर, राइट? क्योंकि पूरी दुनिया की नजर है हाउ इंडिया परफॉर्म्स इन द बेसिकली लेट्स से रेजिंग द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ चीतास फ्रॉम वेयर दे हैव बेसिकली कॉट फ्रॉम नामीबिया एंड साउथ अफ्रीका. ओके, अच्छा, अभी और यहां पे इतना कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट तो नहीं है. Chinese hackers attacking infrastructure, warns US. Wagner says that it is handling Bakhmut to Russian army again, right? Now this is our economics news and there is nothing that much important that we need to discuss, right? So we are done with the today's analysis. I hope you liked the analysis. I hope you enjoyed the analysis. If you enjoy, do comment or like, share or subscribe, and if you have any doubt you can ask me, right? Okay guys, so that's it for today. I hope you liked the session. So we will see each other tomorrow same time. Okay, Chetu has a comment. Hi sir, Sunday I have a prelims. Okay Chetu, best of luck for your exam. I hope you do well, right? So those who are appearing for the prelims, how many of you are appearing for the prelims this on 28th? Hanji. Okay, chaliye, those who are appearing, my best wishes are with you. You might not be able to come on, let's say, our tomorrow session. Don't come as well. Those who are preparing or giving the exam on May 20th, you need to focus and be ready for the examination, right? How much age to limit for the UPSC preparation? I think for the general categories it is the 32 years of age, right? So okay guys, thank you so much, take care, bye bye.